So what do you personally like to shoot with, digital-wise?
I haven't had a chance to shoot with a Panasonic. Digital, I'm very, very happy with the Mark 5D Mark II because it's a still camera.
That new one, that's the buzz here.
It's a fantastic camera.
It's killer.
It's a killer. And the fact that it shoots video, I'm sure that in the near future Canon will come out with new cameras that will do 24 or 23.98, which is what we need, and that will all change. But you know, I've had my camera for over a year and a half or something now, and I'm happy to buy a new one if need be. And all those, there'll always be takers.
Sure.
Chip size is a significant plus factor with that camera. It's VistaVision format, which is twice the frame that we work with in 35. So your bokeh, your quality of soft focusedness behind the sharpness that you want on the eyes and so on, is just spectacularly beautiful.
How's the latitude on that camera?
The latitude for a digital camera is pretty impressive.
Does it have a good fall off?
Yes, I mean, in its raw mode, it's spectacular. And of course, what we would like them to do is somehow split off that raw signal in video and have that available for post-processing the way the Red does.
Right.
That would make it a much more satisfying camera. It's very lovely in the Red to actually, you look at your quick times that are instantly generated and you say, oh, I didn't nail that very well, but then you go back to the raw file and you say, oh yeah, I got scads room, I bring these clouds down, I got all this information in the highlights. And there's a lot more information because of storing a raw field.
Right. Well, it's interesting because I interviewed Tim Smith from Canon, and he said they got caught by surprise with this thing.
Oh, yeah.
They had no clue. They were doing it for the journalists to shoot some video, and then you get guys like you that are saying, what do you mean? This is great for us.
Well, it's not great for us right now because of the 24. And Twixtor is an amazing piece of software, but it still throws the data away, and it just makes it challenging. Shane is coming tonight. We'll talk about his movie. I'm amazed, and they're doing the whole thing through Twixtor, everything. But he said he said to me that Twixtor actually introduces a little bit of a gift in that it does allow some cases more information to be pulled out of the shadows than he would otherwise seen. And So it's a kind of like a post tool that he's embracing.
And then Twixtor allows you to do what exactly?
To extract the extra 6 frames. It's an add-on to After Effects. Very complicated motion analysis, and it rebuilds new frames, taking advantage of having thrown them away. It pulls material from them and recreates.
I see.
It used to be done by $1 million box. Snell and Wilcox and companies like that would do this for standards conversion between different PAL rates, 24, 25, 30, and shooting video around the world. And so this is an offshoot of that. It's software runs on the Mac. And it's a $600-700 piece of software. I think it's not cheap, but for those who have to have it,
that's not that bad. $700.
It's not the end-all or be-all.
Right.
And even in the footage we had in this Washington Field pilot, not all of it was handled properly. We went to compressor. We went to After Effects by itself without Twixtor, and each of these pieces of software did a different job and handled a different kind of motion artifact, whether it be horizontal movement or vertical movement or a fixed camera with something going through the frame that looked a little off. And all of these, even the Foundry has a plug-in now too that does motion analysis and helps with skew, which is the rolling shutter effect that occurs because the actual dump of a single frame is longer than it should be.
Right, I think this camera has the rolling shutter effect problem tremendously bad.
We had, this is an EX3?
This is an EX1. I think the EX3 they fixed that.
Better?
Yeah, I think they fixed it. The EX1 it's really bad.
We had Jim in the beginning when I was working with him or sitting in on sessions that they had, was saying that they had measured the shutter of a Panaflex at about 6 milliseconds, and I think that's right in saying milliseconds, and 7 for the Arriflex. Either the Panavision on the Arriflex were slightly different with a rotating mirror shutter, and that he was around 9, but I imagine these cameras are around 15 or something like that. And it's sort of unacceptable really, because if you handheld and just move through a room, you're going to see the walls start to weave, which is, I think you just have to be more formal about how you go about it, exposing with the camera. But I've seen footage here at this conference, which is spectacular. And you know, why would you not shoot just for the sake of saying, well, sometimes we're going to lose footage? You can review it on the spot and say, okay, we were doing this handheld, but let's put it on a dolly because we're going to be able to use the shot. Because right now, though, I can't use this. You know?
Right. Well, Vince Lafayette did that surfing movie in the 5D, which is and it mixed it up with red footage, and it's amazing.
Right.
So I heard you're on Twitter. Do you want to give us your Twitter account?
Yeah,
Can you do
that? Rodney Kiwi.
Rodney Kiwi?
RODNEYKIWI.
Perfect. And I heard you tweet from 24?
I have a site which I have to actually...
Oh, tell us, please.
Well, it's been there for about 8 years now. I've done nothing to it. But it's at rodneycharters.com.
Okay, cool.
And I really feel I have to start blogging on it, although I don't know how I'm going to find the time. It's just what I need is something that if I could speak, and it would just make text for me, and then I could just paste it in.
You can use your iPhone, and I'm sure there's some sort of converter for that memo thing.
Well, there is voice activated this software that will do this, but it's not as accurate as I'd like it to be, or maybe I haven't trained it well enough. You know.
Right, definitely.
You need more patience.
Yeah.
But Twitter is an extraordinary phenomenon, and a lot of people follow us now. There's a handful of us on the set of 24, and we Twitter the peripheral activities of the crew and you know, the fun stuff.
Yeah, you get us all geeks following you guys.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
and
definitely.
We talk technical. I talk technical every
That's
now and again.
fantastic.
I talk about a light or...
So are you tweeting while you're live? While you're shooting? I mean,
yeah, during the day while we shoot in between setups and so on. I'll make a little video and send it up. And I've got friends, Philip Bloom in England, we now correspond, and the Buey brothers, I found them. And
for the video, do you use 12 seconds or...?
I use whatever the iPhone does.
Okay, and you post that video up.
I just post the video
to your Mac account.
It gets squished and sent up the line, and the quality's not fantastic.
Sure.
But you can see the little video when we first realized we could put the 11:1 zoom on actually the other way around. We mounted the 11:1 zoom and then stuck the Canon on the back.
Excellent. All right, well, it was great to meet you, Rodney. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.